Brotherhood of the Eternal Light, teaching the Western mysteries. This video is part of our online course in Qabbalistic Astrology. If you would like to learn with us, click on the link in the description. Video series, The Horoscope. Meaning of the planets. Mercury. What is it that Mercury, the messenger of the gods, provides? He gives us symbols, language, and thoughts, over which he presides. Basic meanings. To help you better understand the planet Mercury, let us first explain some basic alchemical and Kabbalistic meanings. The alchemical symbol of Mercury unites the lion crescent moon above, the circle in the middle, and the cross below. Mercurius corresponds to the metal mercury in alchemy. Mercury represents one of the alchemical primordial essences and was known long before our era. It is perceived in alchemy to have a watery quality. This assessment coincides with the symbolism of the Kabbalah on the basis of the assignment of the mother letter Mem to the Sefirah Hod. Hod is formative for the meaning of Mercury. The letter Mem symbolizes the watery form-giving principle. In the Tree of Life, we find this in the form of the progression from Binah to Chesed and on the Sefirah Hod. Mercury is called Kochav in Hebrew, meaning star. Mercury, which is close to the Sun and moves quite quickly around it, was one of the first planetary stars observed in the sky. Hence the name Kochav, star. The Sefirah Hod underlies Mercury's astrological significance. On the macrocosmic tree of life, Hod represents the form aspect of the lower mental plane. The inventive energies and creative impulses of Netzach, i.e. the power principle of the lower mental plane, are expressed in Hod, the analytical form principle of the mental plane, in a correspondingly suitable and coherent form of expression. Mercury is therefore associated with clarity of mind, communication, and thought structures, and the intellect. Mercury in mythology. In ancient Mesopotamia, the god of literature, rational arts, penmanship, and wisdom corresponding to Mercury was called Nabu. The god of Egypt who corresponds to Mercury is Thoth. Thoth is the lord of wisdom and prudence, of writing and mathematics, of magic and reckoning time. The Greek equivalent is Hermes, the messenger of the gods. He is considered the lord of oratory, merchants, but also thieves. He is also the soul guide as well as the god of magic. Finally, Mercury was the god of trade and business in the Roman Empire. Astrological meaning. Mercury's position in the horoscope indicates in what way and in what area of life we apply our mind and how clarity of mind is expressed. Mercury's virtues are truthfulness, honesty, and power of communication. The vices of Mercury are dishonesty, mendacity, untruthfulness, and being trapped in the world of images and symbols. Movement and speed. Mercury is located between the Earth and the Sun. Its apparent rotation around the Earth, therefore, lasts about as long as that of the Sun. Thus, Mercury needs about 1 year for its orbit through the zodiac. Mercury runs apparently a little faster than the Sun through the signs of the zodiac. It manages about 1.5 degrees daily, the Sun only about 1 degree. However, due to the annually repeated phases of retrograde and due to Mercury's position between Earth and Sun, ultimately a similar duration results for the crossing of the zodiac seen from Earth. In this animation, the relationship of the velocity of Mercury and the Sun in the radix can be seen. Mercury's annual multiple retrograde is also shown here. We also see well that Mercury never moves far from the Sun. Because of Mercury's position between the Earth and the Sun, it is never more than a maximum of 28 degrees from the Sun in the radix. So, in the radix, Mercury is either in the same sign as the Sun or in one of the respective signs next to it. The only aspect formed by Mercury and the Sun is a conjunction. If it is very close or exact, we also speak of a burned Mercury. This is also called a combustion. For more information on the astrological aspects and their meanings, see the videos on the aspects. Domination and Exile. Mercury rules the sign Gemini on the one hand and is in exile in Sagittarius. On the other hand, Mercury also rules the sign Virgo and is in exile in Pisces. The properties of Mercury are consistent with the nature of the sign Gemini, as well as with the nature of the sign Virgo. In the sign of versatile and flexible Gemini, Mercury's agile mind and power of communication can express themselves well. In the sign of exact Virgo, Mercury's intellect and analytical mental power shows themselves in the form of practical, ordering intelligence. In Sagittarius, on the other hand, where it is a matter of holistic and far-sighted spiritual striving, the clarity of mind and structure of the many details is displaced by the big picture. In Pisces, where it is about devotion and profound merging with a higher ideal and the dissolution of two earthly structures, the practical ordering clarity of mind as well as the analytical mind power of Mercury cannot be applied well, because the analytical mind power is clouded by reverie and loss of reality and thus gets lost. Exaltation and Fall. Mercury is not only in rulership in Virgo, but also exalted and thus in exile and fall in Pisces. This is a feature we will also go into in a separate video on the rulership system. Mercury is exceptionally good and strong in the sign Virgo. For in the sign Virgo, where it is a matter of orderly, practical intelligence, clarity of mind, and application of intellect can naturally express itself particularly well. In Pisces, however, Mercury is particularly unfavorable and weak due to exile and fall. For where the dreaming and devotional quality is directed towards higher supernatural ideals, clarity of mind and application of intellect cannot develop well. Let's summarize the meanings of Mercury again. Spiritual principle. Hod, the analytical thinking. Effect. Mercury indicates how and in which area one uses one's mind, and how clarity of mind is expressed. Virtue. Truthfulness, honesty, and power of communication. Vices. Dishonesty, mendacity, untruthfulness, and being trapped in the world of images and symbols. Rulership. Gemini and Virgo. Exaltation, Virgo. Exile, Sagittarius and Pisces. Fall, Pisces. Orbital period, about 1 year. If you like our videos, we appreciate your support. Let us know in the comments what you find particularly interesting, helpful, or valuable. Subscribe to our channel and like the video.